It's Friday. All right, it's Friday. Welcome to Space Between Ideas. I'm Blaine Gates. Day number 30. 30 days. Can you believe it? 30 days. So that's pretty cool. We've really pushed and we have done a great job. Congratulations for making it to day number 30. There are only 71 more days to go. All right, so we were talking about state inventiveness. And man, where have we been with this? We have been to a lot of places. So we talked about like a variety of different ways to think about innovation, some categories of thought. We talked about imitating, copying other people. We talked about integrating, figuring out how to work with other people, figuring out how products work together. We talked about ignore, things that we should stand away from. We talked about how to come up with some ideas. We talked about, remember when we were talking about how to make our salespeople spies? Well, guess what? Today is spy level 2. All right. So, although, yes, we did talk about the idea of like, so creating a venture, right? And then we talked about bringing some people together. And then we're going to start to put this prototype together. Now, before we really create that prototype, so I mean, maybe you already started on your prototype, but I doubt it since I've been doing a video every day and it's only been like 24 hours. So you may have started working on the prototype. I'm sure that you haven't invented a new robot yet. Today, I wanted to talk about an interesting concept. Now, if you are following along in the book Create Crucial Insight, you'll notice that we've been bumping up and down and up and down in this state inventiveness checklist. The next idea on the checklist is actually the last one. But I thought I would introduce it now because you are about to create a prototype. And then the next couple of steps are kind of like carrying along that line of reasoning. The problem is that maybe you have figured out, you thought about what aspects of other products to imitate. You've thought about ways to integrate. You've been thinking about features. You've been thinking about all these different aspects of creating your prototype. You've also made a list of things you'd like to ignore. You've whittled it down to the minimum viable product. Or if you are already an established business, you are just like, okay, well, what's that one little thing that we need to do more? Now, the reason why I wanted to introduce this idea today is because this may influence the way you are thinking. This might change the game. Now, what is like, have you ever been to Silicon Valley? So I lived in Silicon Valley for like a year. And the one word which everybody says, like it's the one word which is why Silicon Valley is completely changing the world. People in this industry are changing the world. You know, when you talk about redundancies, when you talk about people losing their jobs, when you talk about these tech giants who are gobbling up companies, they are displacing startups, they are acquiring successful companies, and they are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then they offer a lot of products for free. And there are so many products and services which have been what? What is the word? What is the word? What are these people doing to industries? The word is disrupt. The idea is disrupt. So if you have some kind of innovation, it's going to disrupt. All right. So you have a steam engine. All right. You get some fire, you get some wood, you get some water, and it creates pressure and it starts to move your locomotive. It's absolutely amazing. The technology completely changed the world. Then you have a combustion engine. You come up with some fuel. Now everybody's able to move like super fast all over the place. You're able to do more work. One human being can now do like they use the word horsepower actually. It's not even human power, it's horsepower. One car has the same power as how many horses? It's absolutely insane. And so you have these inventions which were which disrupted industries. You have this person who invented a sewing machine, and everybody was like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do with our time? We are displaced workers. One woman can now do the same work as however many, 50, 100, 1,000. So what are they all going to do? And this has been happening over and over and over again through this modern technological era. Now all of a sudden people can communicate through email. Like, we don't send letters anymore. All right? And we can actually we can call each other with the phone. We don't need to walk into each other's houses anymore. And our world is changing and the shape is changing constantly. So what's the problem? Well, okay, so you had your meeting. We're like, okay, this is what we're going to imitate. All right. This is what we're going to integrate. All right. This is what we're going to ignore. Okay. So these are the ideas. Yeah. All right. Let's put together a business. Got it. We got the venture. All right. Now let's develop that prototype. What's the issue? The issue is you are not the only one that's doing this. All right. So how are you going to disrupt all of the competition? Like the essence of innovation is to put yourself in a position where you are one step ahead of all of the other players, so that when they come onto the market with their product or service, your product or service is that much better. Now, what do you do if you have the leading product or service? What if yours is the best? All right, so you are countering. This is about, well, if you're in martial arts, somebody comes out with you with a punch and you have to counter. Not only do you block or stop, but you have to be able to counter. You have to be able to hit them back. All right? In a war, you can't win by stopping the other guys. You have to go in and disrupt. I think that's the most diplomatic way of saying that. So what are some things you can do? All right, so help your customers wind down a product line. If you have a customer, if you're working with a customer and you have a good relationship with that customer, if it's your brother-in-law, if it's your friend, if you're gathering relationships and somebody else is using a different product, you have to help them to wind down that product line. I mean, even if your product isn't better, if you somehow can provide some benefit that that other company cannot provide, then you need to continue to deepen that relationship and help them to make steps to wind down that product line. Now, that could be that salesperson. Remember, this is spy lesson 2. Spy lesson 1 is just to go in, for example, and figure out, like, how does your competitor integrate with that company? All right, so now you brought that intelligence back into your own firm. Maybe you made the changes. Now your product is just as good or better than the competition. Now the process is, how do you help that customer to wind down the integration with the consumers, with the consumer, with the competitor's product? All right, now maybe that doesn't sound very fun or very interesting, but this is business. You have to give them the opportunity and the instructions, the motivation, and the so that I don't even know what that word is. To help them. I'll just put a line, and you can fill in that blank. Wind down that product line, and instead use your product. And maybe it's just as easy as making a switch. Maybe it's like you have to find out how they are going to be developing their product in the future, and then get the contract so that your product is integrating with the next product line that they are releasing. So they are phasing out that other product. All right. Now, what else? So we were in Spy 101, we were doing that. And also we were integrating with our product line, with our customers' products. And also we were integrating with the customers of our customers. All right. So help clients' customers decommission a product. Like, what does that mean? To help the client's customers decommission a product. So it could mean the same thing as what I was just explaining. All right. So you are working with your customers to understand the products of their customers. And then you are helping your customer to make their product more relevant, to capture a larger market share, to capture a larger sales volume within the product, within the company of their customers. And it's the same thing, okay? So it's like a step by step. It could be switch. It could be a process. It could be steps. So what is the plan of the customer of your customer? How are they planning to roll out future products? Is it possible for you to get the contract for those future products? Phase out, decommission, help them to advance, increase sales volume. All right, so that's the idea for today. The heart of innovation is to create a product, a sales system, a relationship, a dependency, however you want it, so that when other people are going in to visit your customers, you have the ability to foresee that there are going to be competitive forces, and you need to be looking into the future with your customers, looking into the future with the customers of your competitors, and into the future with the customers of your customers in order to create prototypes, because really that's what we're doing right now, create prototypes that will align with that future. Good luck, everybody. I wish you the best. Congratulations on 30 days. I will see you tomorrow.